I said from the beginning that the matter manipulation level abilities that those kids had was massive. Now they finally went and showcased exactly what it means for them to work together.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
Gifted, episode number 8, Threat of Extinction. Alright, I'm not gonna bitch too much about this one. Alright, so the episode actually title is a little weird though, because it's not really about the threat of extinction. It's the threat of being compromised, the idea that they have a weapon that they can use against us. But it's also a big revelation episode, one that we're going to have to talk about in the spoiler section. In general, Sentinel Services is still being the bad guys, and so is now Trask Industries. Meanwhile, the Mutant Underground is still being played as a very gray situation. For those of you that don't know, what I do here is comment on and dissect stories, the hows and the whys of the stories we tell, getting to the heart of them. I do theory videos every Sunday, throwback Thursdays, and reviews as stories come up. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to hear more, click that subscribe button, because I'm going to do a big giveaway when I hit 100 subscribers. For now, though, this is the story of the Strucker family. And I actually mean that literally this time. We learn the story of the Strucker family. And that's a lot to unpack, starting with London in the past, and then jumping forward to today. So let's throw this up there and unpack this.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
Mutant terrorists in 1952 London. The Struckers. They were pretty powerful. They don't exactly go into detail on how their powers work, but whatever it is, it's got to be the equivalent of an Omega-level mutant. Papa Strucker even says, we're different even among mutants. And that's a pretty interesting concept, one that they've played with in the comics before. The idea that some mutants are powerful, some mutants are benign, some mutants are barely useful, some mutants are not useful at all. But then there's Omega level. Omega level are those people that are so cosmically empowered, so crazy in what they can do, that they can alter reality. They can change fundamental laws. They can do things so powerful it might as well be magic. Polaris and Eclipse are powerful. They can do a lot of things. That guy that can manipulate images, the woman that can take memories, all of those things are powerful, scary abilities that can change all sorts of how civilization works. But Omega level, when you get to matter manipulation, when you get to Franklin Richards, when you get to Absorbing Man, when you get to cosmic beings, things that can reshape, things that just should not be, that's when you get into the scary stuff. And that's what these two are capable of when they work together. All season, we've seen them slowly learning to use their abilities, slowly helping each other, and amplifying each other. That hand-holding isn't exactly new either. But it took on a very sinister connotation after watching what their great-grandfather, and great-grandaunt were capable of. And of course, what their grandfather did. Remember the whole idea of shutting down mutant powers? Well, I guess that even though Eclipse and Polaris can be shut down, even though everyone else we've seen can be shut down, Grandpa couldn't. He could overpower that, with the same sort of power that the Strucker family has. So what exactly is it? I originally said it seemed like matter manipulation, like she was condensing items, pushing them down, and he was ripping them apart. Like she was controlling things to come together and him pull apart. So maybe when they're together is when they have full matter manipulation. Maybe when they're really working together, when they're holding hands. Maybe that's when they can release some sort of godlike Franklin Richards ability. Now, mutants don't normally skip generations, and we find out that it didn't exactly in this one. Their father was a mutant, but they had a serum that was able to take that mutant ability away. And that's pretty crazy, but not impossible. Things called retroviruses are allowed to modify our DNA, and we actually do have things that happens with. Radiation also kills off parts of our DNA, so the idea of targeting individual mutations is theoretically possible. It's how we treat cancer. Now, all of this goes back, though, to Trask Industries, and the fact that Trask Industries has been studying this stuff, and that this guy right here, he thinks that he can do it too. But he's not doing it that way. He's enhancing the abilities and manipulating them and brainwashing them. This goes way beyond anything that was going on with that Patriot Act modification. This is pure crazy levels of not even a government agency, just a personal industry taking on the responsibility to destroy people's abilities. However, there is a certain amount of you need to look at this as, why are they doing it? Because they're scared. Think about what these people can do. Not even the manipulators, not even the telepath. Just shoot energy out of your hand that can burn someone. Super speed, super reflexes, super strength, and nigh invulnerability with enhanced senses. And that's before you get to the people that can rip apart molecules or put them together. What's a normal person going to do against that? How do you react? I mean, we've seen over and over again when the mom strucker keeps saying, this is, I guess, our new normal. But how normal is it? How do you deal with the idea that your kids are capable of doing these things? And I want you to think about this for a second. Imagine tomorrow you had a 16-year-old kid that had a gun. Even if he was the most responsible 16-year-old in the world, there's part of you that would want to take extra care, extra training to make sure he understood how to respect the gun, how to be safe with the gun. What if they could teleport instead? What if they could rip open reality? Yeah, that's how crazy this gets. But let's pause that thought for a second and talk about when you should use your abilities and how you should use your abilities. Tonight we're introduced to a telepath, and we've already had someone that can manipulate memories in the form of Dreamer. Now, I've really pressed how scary this type of power is. And remember, we're not calling this an Omega level. We're calling this probably an Alpha level, maybe not even an Alpha level ability. Alright, so, she can alter memories. And that's scary, because memories are who we are. Memories are what we are. We are a product of our own experiences. And if you can mess with those, if you can take them away, if you can implant them, you can change who we are. But tonight, we didn't see that being abused. Well, maybe we did, but probably not. We saw it being used to help. We saw a little kid that was dealing with a traumatic experience, and the fact that Dreamer could take that experience away from her. The same way that you are an entire figment of your own imagination, you are your own creation, you are the sum of your memories. Taking away a painful memory could hurt you in the long run, in that the person you became would no longer be there because that memory, that pain that drove you, isn't there. If that memory is driving you to be insane, if it's making it impossible for you to do anything, maybe it's a good thing if that happens. Maybe letting you get on and moving past such a horrible hurt, especially when you're so young and can't handle it. On the other hand, who gets to decide? Who gets to say, hey, this memory drives me? Taking away the memory of Batman watching his parents die, would that make him not Batman? They explored that in the comics not too long ago. But what about taking away something that's causing a soldier to relive a bad experience? But what about taking away a pain that drives? I mean, how do you decide when it's right and when it's wrong? Let me give you a hint. It's almost impossible, and it's completely subjective. In fact, as I look through this, I wonder if I'm wrong to say that they helped that child. Man, when you start to really think about these questions, they're complex. I wonder what you think, though. Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think they helped that girl, or do you think they violated that girl? Do you think that... Just what do you think in general? We'll leave it at that. And for now, I'm going to ask you to give me a thumbs up, though, if you liked my thought-provoking, crazy ramblings about the episode, or how the story is unfolding. And, of course, if this is your first time here, click that subscribe button, because why not? It helps out the channel and helps me grow. What I'd like to do here is build a whole community where we can examine these sorts of existential crises that these TV shows give me because I read way too much into them. And basically, well, I'm trying my best to get to the heart of why we tell these stories and how we tell these stories. And maybe you want to come along the way. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'm at like 72 or 73 now. I'm going to do a big giveaway of some Amazon gift card. For now, though, I hope you have a good night, and stay tuned for 2 weeks.